Boy, oh boy, it's another one of these doozy articles, but this actually references Teen Vogue, and it was quite eye opening. It is from WNE. This is by Michael Austin, The Western Journal, and its magazine doesn't even try to hide it. Pushes socialism on teens. It's back. Ay, ay, ay. In Teen Vogue, back in my day, it 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 was just meant for like teenage girls. Again, it was about fashion and what to wear, maybe relationships. That's it. Now, what it's morphed into is again, it's talking points from the communists to push socialism again. Socialism is the bastard deception, or the redheaded stepchild of communism. Socialism comes first, then communism comes second. Okay, in terms of like what's going to happen, right? If the path we're on continues, this is the what's going on. Anyway, so again, these people are paid much more than me because they're more deserving. With the rise of Bernie Sanders, AOC, and many other leftist politicians, the draw of socialism has taken a hold of many American teens. The new article is published Friday, titled "What is Democratic Socialism? Why is it important? More popular in the U.S." And written by Samuel Arnold, the associate professor of theory at Texas Christian University, pushed the growingly popular concept of democratic socialism to readers of Teen Vogue, the online magazine on the mission to be the young person's guide to saving the world. If somebody is like on a mission to save the world, uses the word young person's guide, it's called totalitarianism. It's called Satanism. It's called the worst of the worst. Okay, let me see if I can access the article here. Curious. Oh, please, die. I do. Shoot, I do. But we wouldn't use this one. We'll use the one that summarizes it here. You know, after claiming socialism is back, the article initially attempts to posture as neutral, saying, "So who's right?" That's what you decide. But first, you need to know some basics. Those basics turn out to be a series of one-sided arguments. Okay, so this one knows a lot of journalism, right? So let me tell you, when you write essays, you're supposed to provide both points of argument or different views, points of view, and you don't push a bias in there. In modern journalism has been about 7 years or so, right? That's really modern journalism, right? It's supposed to have a journalistic standard once again, right? It's now pushing things without sources and pushing a bias in the story. This is what happens when you hire people based on the skin color, based on what's between the legs. You get a bunch of socialists in power. Again, I point towards the Obama administration. What happened? Media companies were forced to hire SJW type people. People were hired based on the skin color and sex. This is what happened. 100% fact. Otherwise, companies will face severe repercussions. Okay, these are facts, right? It's flippin' evil. Arnold initially discussed opposition of socialism. Okay, namely, of the President Trump, and described the kinds of people he believes oppose such system. Many Americans side with Trump in rejecting socialism, Arnold wrote, despite its increasing popularity among younger Americans and Democrats. Socialism remains broadly disliked, especially by Republicans. Okay, again, it goes back to experience, right? Again, when you're in your 20s, you have feelings. When you're in your 30s, you tend to be with facts, right? So that's why people vote funny in the 20s and vote more, but basically vote when they have better experience in their 30s, right? You understand things about the world. Again, as a kid, socialism sounded good. Communism sounded good too. As a kid, as a kid, these things sound good. You know, you're easily seduced by like the easiest path possible. Okay, the path to power, the easiest, the path that gives you things, but you don't learn anything. This is one of the big stories between differences between man and woman. This is why like men who write stories, men who do movies, it's more interesting. What's more interesting, earning or being given? What's more interesting, walking the path, or basically having the path given to you. Okay, story wise, is it easier to stay at home, or um is it easier to blaze your own trails essentially? Okay, and blazing your own trails is always a more interesting story. If you ever see the difference between women's love stories and male love stories, women don't really struggle during love stories. They get what they want, right? Men struggle in love stories to get what they want. That's the difference. Anyway, a significant portion of the article goes to make and a common one among progenitors of Marxist theory is that wealthy billionaires like Bezos have total control over the means of production. They do when they side with the communists, okay? When Jeff Bezos decides not to publish something, he's siding with the communists that the left support. Again, they all hate each other, right? All these identity groups hate each other, so they try the best never to say anything negative towards one another. Instead, they'll try to find a strawman enemy. Okay, all right. Ask yourself, who controls the American economy? Who calls the economic shots? Ordinary working people or wealthy capitalists like Bezos? The answer is a lie. Look, when you work hard, you'll get power. That's the way it works, alright? Jeff Bezos, as much as I hate his flippin' guts, that bored little bastard, he earned it. Of course, again, when you get it, again, this is the same thing with the how communists work, right? The people in power have it, and they will never give it away. This is why the corporations who earn their wealth through capitalism support communism. They don't want any other company to rise up to get what essentially take their marketplace. Okay, this is just basic facts. Okay, the bigotry against successful businessmen and CEOs is a faulty. Yeah, and again, that's my logic, as conservative Ben Shapiro made clear in an argument with socialists during a question and answer. The owner of the factory carries the risk. Absolutely, okay, you're the risk. Shapiro said, if the company goes bankrupt, the guy has to pay off all his debts. The workers may lose a job, but he doesn't have to, essentially, okay. Alright, the inventor pays is down. So this is a pretty good video if anybody wants to watch it. Again, I'll post a link. Arnold then suggested that the proper solution under socialism to correct this problem of wealthy billionaires like Bezos having control of poverty would be to public and social ownership. Again, yeah. Okay, so the whole concept of social ownership and public ownership, it works in small. If you have a small company, it'll work. If you have a small village, it works. When you want to expand, or if you have expand, it does not work. It does not work. Okay. Democratic socialists seek public or social ownership of the economy, which is not necessary. Okay. When you hear democratic socialist, that means socialism / communism, right? That's all it means, right? Don't bother with Democratic Party. There's no such thing. Anyway, so what? Okay, so one of the reasons why I'm against like I like Andrew Yang. He's actually tries to find solutions, but it's wrong. When he does these a thousand a month, right? Whatever you want to call it. What will happen is that the government, through a certain demographic and voting bloc, will start censoring people and taking away people's finances for wrong thing. Is that fair? Absolutely not. And then they'll actually give the money to probably people who want them to take away their finances. So, for example, if a couple having a fight, someone in the couple, let's say a female member can claim she was abused, then the husband can no longer get his $1,000 a month check because he's now considered a criminal. This is what happens under these programs. There'll be false accusations, and it'll start the quote unquote level playing field will not be leveled anymore. Okay, and then to get your funding, you'll have to fall in line. You have to agree with the government. You have to agree with everything they say. Okay, this is why people have to reject something like socialism and communism. Reject it. Okay, it'll always hurt like the 2 or 3 people we hate the most. Then it'll hurt the 100 people who don't deserve it. That's the way it goes. This is why people who who push these people who vote with their emotions, it always hurts them tenfold. All right, take care. Share, say, subscribe. Thumbs up. I'll keep this short.